Everyone, just wanted to do a quick podcast to reacquaint you with our process for the rookie free agent draft, inform some of the new folks what the process is, and then one of my favorite things in the offseason, the divisional realignment. We're going to do that after I go over kind of the ground rules of the draft. So the draft starts Monday, May 12th at noon Eastern Standard Time, 10 rounds, 243 total picks. So 24 teams times 10 rounds. And then we had three bonus picks from the Toilet Bowl. This draft's going to include all rookies and free agents that are listed in the website's pool of players. There's a 6 hour time limit per pick, but the clock is paused from midnight to 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Any timed out pick is probably going to get you MFL's average draft position, but it is pretty unpredictable. I will not be changing any picks unless you show me that there was a problem with the software, some kind of error. I've seen in the past a pre-draft that doesn't go through. That would be a good example. Just notify me immediately. If it's anything that's just a case of it timed out because you weren't present, the pick is what you get. Right now, I have the off-season roster limit to 90 players. I know a lot of you were in the 80s because of the injured reserve players being put on your active roster again. So you should have room for most of your draft picks. You might have to make a few cuts in order to fit that. Once the season starts in September, we will cut down to 75. Weekly blind bid waivers are going to start the week after we conclude this draft. Um, Probably a week plus however many days so that it lands on a Wednesday. So it's every single Wednesday during the off season. You start with $1,000 total budget for the whole season. It's a $1 minimum bid. Once your budget is gone, you can't make any more waiver pickups because first come, first serve still costs a dollar. We will have first come, first serve once the season starts, but for the off season, it's just once a week blind bid. So for the division realignment, what we typically do is all the playoff teams remain in their division from the previous season. So any division winners and wildcard teams. This year is very unique. We've never had a division winner leave the league. So Claymore's left the league, which means the NFC West is wide open. So that's totally up for grabs. Four teams are going to be assigned to that division. As I said, the remaining 17 teams will randomly be assigned to a division. This is going to be through a spinning wheel, so totally random. Every offseason, we realign the divisions to simulate the volatile nature of early football leagues. So we'll have more parity, new rivals. It kind of sets it up to defend your division title from the previous year. So we've had a lot of mixing up. I find it one of the most fun things about this league. I hope all of you think that too. Um, a little bit looking behind the curtain, the schedule methodology. We have 17 matchups over weeks 1 through 14. So double headers are weeks 1 through 3. The second game will always be one of your division rivals. Each team plays their division rivals twice, so that's six of the games. You also play every team in two other divisions, and that's eight games. And then for the remaining three games, it's kind of similar to the NFL, where um, based on where you ended your rank in your last division, based on victory points, you'll play against the team. If you're the number one victory points, you'll play against three other teams that were number one, number two, three other teams that are number two, and so on. Just quickly, there was actually a lot of movement this offseason. So, two of the name changes, the Cleveland Browns are turning into the Oakland Raiders, and then the Providence Steamrollers are Washington football team. Normally, I have um, any team that's vacated, I'll say this is what they changed to, but obviously, since we had the dispersal draft, all of these teams, the new teams are totally different. So, three teams folded: Harrisburg Stampede, Scottish Claymores, and Houston Oilers. And now we have five new owners. So the Hamburg Sea Devils is Ryan. The Duluth Eskimos is Matt. Memphis Maniacs is Lucas. Dallas Texans remain from before, but there's new colors, and that's Richard. And then Barcelona Dragons is a existing team that has a new owner, Will. If you haven't already, reach out to these folks. They were super active in the dispersal, so I'm sure they'll be happy to talk trades. Um, and then get your trade bait up so that everyone knows kind of what you're looking to do for moves. So, um, like I did last year, basically it's um, I have it so that we have the previous people in uh, the previous division winners are already set, and then I'm going to fill in the rest based on this random spinner. Normally I start with the AFC, so this year I think I'm going to start with the NFC. So this is the wheel. I have all of the 17 teams shown in there. Just so that it's super, super random, I'm going to click shuffle a couple times. And then once I start spinning, we'll start adding to that slide that I showed before. So here we go. First team in the NFC East. That will be the Canton Bulldogs. Okay. Next team in the NFC East. The Los Angeles Dons. Bear with me here. There's a bunch of things on my screen that are kind of blocking it. All right. Wrapping up the NFC East. Anawana Cardex. All right, moving on to the NFC Central. There's two teams that need to be added to this because one of our wild card teams was out of this division. So, first team that's being added to the NFC Central is the Dallas Texans. All right, and then wrapping up the NFC Central, the last team, the Memphis Maniacs. All right, wide open NFC West. Wild, Wild West over here. We're gonna have four teams in this one. The Barcelona Dragons. Second team in the NFC West. Pittsburgh Maulers. I feel like both of you were already in the NFC West last year. We'll see if it gets mixed up more. Okay, two more teams. Oklahoma. All right, last team in the NFC West. The Duluth Eskimos. All right, now moving on to the NFC East. We need two teams there because one of the wild cards was in that division. All right, the Hamburg Sea Devils. All right, last team in the AFC East. The Cleveland Crush. All right, three teams in the AFC Central. After we complete these three, we'll know the last three remaining teams are going to end up in the AFC West. New Jersey Hitmen. Next team in the AFC Central. Washington Football Team. All right, final team in the AFC Central. Once we decide this, we'll have the last three will be in the last division, the AFC West. All right, the Atlantic City Blackjacks. And then the last three teams are Philadelphia Pittsburgh Steagles, Baltimore Stallions, and Richmond Rebels. All right, there you have it. These are the realigned divisions. I'll give you folks a day or two to watch this so that I'll wait to change it so that if people want to be surprised and watch this, they can do that. I will post this on the group me and in the league message board for folks to take a look when they get a chance. As I said, um, set up your um, set up your trade bait, set up any notifications you want. We're going to start the draft May 12th, which is in a little under 2 weeks. So good luck to everyone. And if you have any questions, of course, just reach out. Thanks.